Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Another day, another news cycle. So much going on. Recession. Recession. There seems to be a word that's been bounced around a lot lately. Recession. Do you believe we're in a recession? Do you think we're heading for a recession? We might be. But that's a strong word. Recession. I was looking at the statistics that just recently came out over this weekend, and there's a downward trend in gasoline prices. Now, don't get me wrong, the gasoline is still ridiculously high. Still ridiculously high. But for more than 50 consecutive days, consecutive, prices have dropped for the price of gasoline. And prices have dropped for the price of crude oil too. So when you use that word recession, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to prove? I always believe that you remain optimistic, right? Is that word optimistic? Take a look at this.
Would you like to see an end to the media speculation about recession or no recession? Are we in a recession or aren't we? Because whether it's inflation or whether it's in recession, I think everybody knows the dangers of self-fulfilling prophecies. Perhaps if the R word was used less and actually the data was looked at more in its entirety, we would have a different view. And that's important perhaps too.
I mean, is there anything else to say? Using that word recession, I just deem it that it's political. It's political because if things are dropping, if things are getting good, you can't go from 100 to 1, right? You've got to work your way down. One thing I notice is you're probably going to hear me use the word hypocritical a lot because why is it when one party is in office, the other party puts them down and basically acts like nothing that they're doing matters. Nothing that's going on is helping. But on the other side, when the shoe is on the other foot, it's completely different. They toot their horn, toot toot. They toot their horn as to whatever is going on that's good, that's positive, that's beneficial, and they'll bring out each step. Both sides do it. Why? Just shut up. Just shut up. When you see the other side doing something that you've done 1,000 times, shut up. Just shut the hell up. There's so many times that I hear somebody saying something that I'd be like, didn't that person just say blah blah blah? They say that in American politics, you forget what happened yesterday. I don't necessarily believe that anymore. That might have been true for, I don't know, decades ago. But in this day and time with social media, they repeat things a million times. They recall things from, I don't, decades ago. How could you not remember what just happened, especially if it continues to go on over and over and over again? One side does something and puts the other side down, and then that side does the same thing and then puts them down. Back and forth, back and forth. Hypocrisy. I think that's what leads so much of the evilness and the turmoil in our political system, the hypocrisy. If you would just shut the hell up, you know what? Mind your damn business. Mind your business. Mind your business. You know exactly what we're doing. You know exactly why we're doing it because you did it too. Stop it. But no, they can't. They can't help themselves. They've got to put down the opponent for political reasons, I guess. It's sugar to the tea. It's gasoline to the fire. But it's hurting our experiment. Hurting. It's hurting. Things are getting better. We're still struggling. The economy is still not good. Food prices, I hate going to the supermarket. I hate going to the supermarket. $10 for 3 pounds of chicken legs that used to be 50 cents a pound. I okay. So I get why somebody wants to call it a recession, but my point is it's not helping. It's not helping us get anywhere. It's not helping the American experiment. It's not helping at all. We've got quite a lot of flooding going on in our country. I mean, a lot of flooding. You've got floods all the way from Arizona to Louisiana. And to think, what weren't we just going through droughts? I mean, I'm sure many states are still going through droughts today, but now we're dealing with droughts and flooding and droughts and fires and heat waves, not to mention the tornadoes and the hurricanes that we've always experienced. And someone might raise that point, right? They'll say, yeah, but we've always experienced these things. Yeah, we have. We have. Except that they've gotten so much worse. Why do people not believe that? So do you want everybody to flow away in water? You want everybody to burn? You want everyone's stuff to burn down? You want everyone to die from no water before you understand or admit something is going on, something is wrong. We as human beings need to do something. Maybe it's not climate change, for argument's sake, right? We have to do something. We cannot just sit around and put money with first without trying to do something to save our planet. Okay, so if you say it's not climate change, what is it? What do you believe it is? What is your idea to help the situation, to decrease floods, droughts, fires? You hear in these places like Antarctica and Iceland, they're losing their ice. They're losing their ice. Frozen ice that's been frozen for I, I don't remember my history totally, but I would say for centuries. You don't think that that's going to affect us in some way? If you know your science, I'm not so into science, but if you know your science, if we're experiencing a normal time in life with all those frozen glaciers, right? Are you still expecting us to fulfill a normal time in life as those frozen glaciers disappear? Really? I don't understand some people's logic at all. At all. Sometimes I feel like people just want to fight. They just want to have something to say or debate or be angry at. Why? We all live here together. Can't we try to find a solution together? And since there's so many of us, could we agree to disagree? Could we pick one um, one option from one side and another option from another side and go with it? Why does it have to be all or nothing, or all one side or all the other side? Why? People are dying. We are paying for this. We are being affected by this. The other day it was 100 degrees. I was dying. If you're not sitting dead in front of the AC, forget it. As soon as you walk off, 2 minutes, you're soaking wet. Now we have floods. Now we have floods. Take a look at this.
Engulfing vehicles, including a motorcycle. In New Mexico, an estimated 150 people evacuated after they were stranded overnight at Carlsbad Caverns National Park, south of Roswell. One family describing their ordeal.
We got to go through the caverns about 2 hours through. They told us that we had to evacuate. It took us about maybe 20, 30 minutes to get out.
It's the roads that are washed out and we can't pass.
At one point, the caverns ran out of water, and the family says staff gave them food, but they had to pay for it. Flood watches in effect all the way from Arizona to Louisiana. Throughout
Sorry, there was a little technical difficulty there, but you get the point of what's going on in some of these states, and these poor people, these people that are just like you and I. They're the ones that are paying for this. They're the ones that have to deal with this and put up with this. Not necessarily the leaders and the politicians. So the question is and always remains, what are we going to do about it together? What are we going to do about it? There's got to be something that we can do together. And some of us need to face reality of what's going on. Stop taking the opinions or the sides of the minority factor and start looking at the whole picture. The people that are really suffering from this. And I don't see this as a right or left situation, because look at those poor people. Those are red states that were dealing and suffering from those floods. So it doesn't matter if it's Arizona to Texas, Louisiana, New York. Something has to be done about it. Has to be done about it. Something has to be done about it together. 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 Stop the fighting. Stop the fighting. Who's right? Who's wrong? Who the hell cares? Who the hell cares? But I'm learning something, if I haven't already. People know right from wrong and good from bad. But it's a political thing. It always goes back to the same thing. Politics. Politics, politics, politics. And with that said, that brings us to the next thing. Texas sends migrants to New York. But life there is tough. Life there is tough. The migrant's journey can still be rocky. Really. A white bus with Texas plates has pulled up into New York's port and Washington, D.C.'s port many, many times over. There's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of migrants who have been sent up this way from the Texas government. These men and women undergo a 30 plus hour nonstop bus ride from the Texas-Mexico border all the way up north. They're hungry, they're tired. Some of them may need immediate medical care, but nevertheless, some of them are happy that they've reached to New York. I would be happy too. You just um, climbed over a fence, and you want to be in the land of the free. Well, you're here. But does it have to go this way? Does it have to go this way? It says here that the Texas governor has done this deliberately to show his opposition to the federal immigration policies, and that's why he sent them to New York and to Washington D.C. That was his intent. But some migrants who've come to New York, they wanted to come to New York. They're proud. They're happy that they're here. Others say that they have been tricked and forced to come to New York. Is that the American way? They say that they've become the public face of a political back and forth between Texas. But city officials say, let's just give the asylum seekers a warm welcome and let them know that there's going to be a rocky start. First of all, I mean, a rocky start puts it mildly. It's going to be hell. Okay? Or actually, it better be hell. We as Americans, we live here every day of our life, and it's hell of what we have to go through. As we just mentioned, gasoline prices, food shopping, hell. Okay? So you think you're going to come into this country, the land of the free, and everything's going to be peachy peachy? No, no. And you better go through hell, because I'm going through hell. That's the American way to to go through hell. Did it have to be this way? Did it have to be this way? Well, I hope that they appreciate um, what they've gotten, because if you ask me, being put on a bus and sent to New York and Washington D.C., two of the biggest cities in the United States, that's that's a plus. That's a wow factor. I mean, to come from a immigrant country or a third world country and land in New York City. Wow. Right? Wow. So we hope that they appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, they were on the bus for 30 hours and they were hungry. And again, I feel that that's part of those rocky moments. Okay. That was a rocky moment. Okay. You're not going to be handed a three-course dinner. Okay. Air conditioner, pillows, put your feet up. No. And when you get to your destination, you may go even longer without food because you've got to pay for your food. I don't know. That goes into another topic though, because that's that's part of the problem that a lot of the Republicans call for, that some of these migrants are not here for the right intentions. I believe that too. I believe that too. But if you've got 10,000 migrants that come in a year, and 100 of those 10,000 turn out to be bad people, is it fair to blame the other nine, or hold accountable the other 9,900 migrants? That's a tricky topic. Um, a very tricky topic, because you can say, yeah, but those are 100 people. If you didn't allow them in, they wouldn't have done anything wrong. That's true. That's true. But still, do you hold everyone accountable? Some of these people are rightfully here because of the issues that they're going through in their own country. Some of them um, were going through abuse situations, domestic violence, physical abuse. Some of them were living on the streets, poor, didn't have any money at all. Okay, so you get here and you look for a new opportunity. What do you think? Do you think that we are over our heads, or no? We need to be doing this. We need to be looking out for immigrants. I don't know. Again, another tricky topic. Another tricky topic. So we've been hearing a lot lately about this nuclear threat going on in Ukraine with the nuclear plant. And we wonder to ourselves, oh my God, is this really serious? Is this really happening? Is this Armageddon? Is this the end of the world? What's gonna happen if these plants actually blow up? I mean, I say that, but what's gonna happen? It doesn't matter where you are or who you are. It's gonna get to you. What are we gonna do? So right now we have um, Ukraine and Russia pointing fingers at each other. Um, who do you believe? I know who I believe. Who do you believe? On one instance, you have someone who's a liar, who's known for lying. And on the other hand, you have someone who's fighting for their life. And in doing so, are they really going to blow up a nuclear plant in their own backyard? But I don't even think that's the biggest issue or the biggest question. The question is, if that happens, if something happens, what the hell are we going to do? And not just us in the United States. 'Cause that's another thing. I hate when I hear people say, but that's over there. Why are we sending money? Why are we helping? Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you serious? Crap is going to find its way over here sooner or later if we don't do something about it. And if we drag our feet to it and we don't help, it's going to end up on our front door. Same thing applies with this nuclear thing. That air is going to make its way. And then what? And then what? When it's too late? When it's too late? Why wait? Why wait till that? So we were talking about droughts. We got the floods and we got the droughts. So there was a there was an article about California. Some of their celebrities are not following they're not following orders too well. Kim Kardashian, Kevin Hart, Sylvester Stallone. Also, Kim's sister. So you say to yourself, why? Right? Why? Why are they not listening to um why are they not listening to the new rules, the new drought rules? Let's take Kim Kardashian. So it's been cited that she has used about um, what does it say here? He's used more than 232,000 gallons of water. I mean, first of all, that's that's a lot of water. They're like, what the hell are they using it for? But I guess they're watering their 1,000 acre property, and it needs water. I see that the rule is that they can water their lawns once a week. I think once a week. And not only Kim or her sister Courtney, you've got Wade and his wife Gabriel Union. It's reported that they were using over 90,000 gallons of water, which represents about 1,400% over the normal usage back in June. And that's a lot. 489,000 gallons. That's a lot. Then you got Sylvester Stallone. Now he put out a statement that he's got over 500 trees, which include fruit trees. He needs to water his lawn, his property. I get it. I get it. I get it. But people are dying. The water situation obviously is um something serious. It's something serious there. So we hope that they'll pay a little bit more attention to the rules and the regulations out there. I'm sure nobody likes it. I'm sure nobody wants to have to worry about um where they're going to get that next glass of water from. But again, it's one of those things we all need to band together. We all need to stick together, okay? So that someone else can have some water. You don't water your lawn. Or I should say you water your lawn less. Who's to say? Okay, that ends our discussion for today. I'm sure tomorrow there's going to be a lot more crap going on, and we're going to see what my thoughts are on that. If you've got any comments or questions in regards to our topics for discussion, please hit up on any of the social media platforms. You've got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, at the Esteban Hour. Okay, you can also send an email to estebanhour@yahoo.com. Always remember, when you've reached your goals and you've achieved something, say to yourself, this is how we do it.